Hello everyone, welcome to 12am coding, and today we are going to discuss about a new annotation which is at the rate request body and at the rate response body. So we was discussing in our REST API tutorial that whenever we get the request from user, he need to pass that request in some format. And as we are working on Spring Boot, so it is Java, right? So in that we get the request in form of JSON, okay? And actually this particular JSON, right? This JSON, it is in this particular format. Now, whenever it reach to the server, right? It need to be converted into a Java object so that your Java and Spring Boot can understand it. Then it will process that particular request and it will respond in JSON format only because like user will need some JSON, right? Some data format so that he can efficiently use it on the UI and see it, right? Or at the client side. So for that, actually, to make it easier, we are having request body and response body. And as we have discussed in our at the rate controller tutorial when we was discussing about REST APIs, that in at the rate REST controller, it is by default enabled. So by default, whenever you return some object from the API, it will be returning you the JSON automatically. Let's see about this request body and response body, how it works. Okay, so here I'm having one fruit controller. Okay, and in this one I have provided this request mapping. It is simply like the path actually. So whenever we are having a API, this class will be referring to fruits actually. I'll show you. And I have created one more class which is having these three variables: ID, name, and price. I have created one constructor and getters and setters for it. Okay, simple. Now the thing is, I am going to create a get API for now. Okay, and this get API will be, let's say, public, and it will be returning a fruit to me. Okay, and what I need, I want to one minute, I want to get a fruit from the user. Okay, and simply I want to return that fruit. Okay, simple. Like what I'm doing in the get mapping, I'm getting one fruit. Okay, I need one fruit for this particular API and I am returning it. This is simple thing I'm doing. Okay, and it's a very simple get mapping. I know you guys know about it. Like it's a simple thing. It's a get API in the CRUD operation. So we are having one controller. Okay, now in this controller, let me run this particular code and see how it works. Okay, so as we are having this particular object we need to get from the user, we cannot do it from browser actually. So I will do it from Insomnia and let's see how it goes. Insomnia, it's nothing but it's same as Postman. Like we can call the APIs with the lots of features actually. So see what I have done. I am calling this particular URL. Okay, my service is running on 8090 and fruits will be the path of this particular controller of this particular class. And I have provided the body in which ID equals to 1, name equals to banana, price equals to 50. Okay, so if I hit this particular API, then it should get here and it will return me the fruit. Let me run it. So if you see, I got the error which is 400 bad request, because what exactly it is saying, let me show you the error here. Okay, field error in object fruit on ID rejected value null. Okay, so actually it is not understanding this particular data. Okay, because we have provided the object here and there is no specific mapping of these JSON and that Java object. So to tell Spring Boot that this will be we will be getting in format of JSON and you can resolve it, we need a annotation which is known as at the rate request body. Okay, so what I've done, simply I have just provided request body and we are having this particular object and I am returning it. Okay, so if I run this particular code, let's now see what's happening. So if I'll send this now, see, I got the response back. So in this case, what Spring is doing, it is simply like we saw the example, right? In this example, we are having one city and units in which data we need to, in which degree we need to see the temperature. And with this temperature we are returning like the lowest temperature and highest temperature, and we are calling this API. So this is just for a reference. Okay. In the same way, when we are sending a fruit from client in a JSON, server is understanding it in this particular fruit object. Okay, it is converting it explicitly inside, and after that it is returning a fruit also. So as we have discussed, like if this controller, REST controller, I'll not provide, I'll provide normal controller, then we need a response body also. Okay, but in the case of REST controller we don't need it. It also means that one, like while getting, it should convert that JSON into Java object, and while returning also it should convert into um, JSON, right? So if I provide REST controller here, it is same actually. So by default, REST controller will provide the this facility that in the REST API, it will automatically convert the response into. So if you see JSON, so if you see, we are getting the JSON. So yes, guys, I hope this request body and response body is clear to you guys. So yeah, that's it for this particular tutorial. Let's see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.